No one expected that a single photo could shake the entire luxury world. Yet that was exactly what happened when Lisa from BLACKPINK appeared beside a red Ferrari under the bright Italian sun. Fans around the globe gasped, not because it was another photo shoot, but because of what it symbolized, an unexpected alliance between the queen of K-pop and the icon of speed. But behind the flash of cameras and the thunder of applause, questions started to whisper through the digital air. What really happened before that announcement? Why Ferrari? Why now? The truth, they say, is not always what the world sees first. Before that iconic moment, something had been building quietly for months. Lisa's every move had been under a microscope. Her travel to Milan, the private meetings, the subtle posts that didn't fit her usual tone. Fans noticed. Something was coming, but no one could have guessed it would involve Ferrari. It wasn't just a brand deal, it was a statement of transformation. She was no longer just an idol, she was becoming a symbol of power, control, and independence. But before the grand reveal, insiders whispered about a meeting that changed everything. A dinner where two worlds collided, music and motorsport, art and adrenaline. That night in Milan, witnesses described a calm yet electric atmosphere. Lisa arrived discreetly, wearing black, no cameras allowed. Across the table sat a group of Ferrari executives, each aware that the woman in front of them represented not just fame but influence across generations. The conversation was said to be about more than just contracts. It was about legacy. Could the heartbeat of Italian engineering blend with the rhythm of Asian pop culture? Could elegance meet rebellion? The room agreed it could, and Lisa was at the center of it all. But before the final signature, there was hesitation. Not from Ferrari, but from Lisa herself. People close to her said she wanted to be sure the collaboration wasn't just another commercial move. She wanted meaning, something personal. She wanted to connect Ferrari's story to her own. Discipline, passion, the courage to break barriers. That was when the concept of speed as freedom was born. It wasn't just a tagline, it was the emotion that would define the entire campaign. Then came the silence. Weeks without any official news. Fans grew restless. Social media turned into a storm of speculation. Some said she was in Italy again. Others swore they saw her at a Ferrari testing track in Medina. Each rumor only added to the suspense. Even luxury insiders couldn't predict how big the reveal would be. And when the photo finally dropped, the one of Lisa leaning on a Ferrari Roma Spider, sunlight glinting off her bracelet, the internet exploded. Millions of posts in minutes. Hashtags breaking records. A cultural collision captured in one frame. But here's the part few talk about, the emotional weight behind that smile. Lisa wasn't just showing off a car. She was showing the world a new version of herself. For years, she had been defined by choreography, schedules, and expectations. This time, she was steering her own direction. The Ferrari partnership wasn't an accident. It was a reflection of her journey, from a young girl in Thailand to a global icon of freedom. Behind that luxury, there was sweat, there were doubts, there were nights when she questioned whether she could carry the pressure of being both an artist and a brand. Yet, every challenge became fuel. Midway through the campaign planning, one clip almost didn't make it to release. A short scene where Lisa, alone at the wheel, whispered, "Control is everything." Ferrari loved it, but some thought it was too personal, too revealing. Lisa insisted it stay. To her, it wasn't about control of others, but control of destiny. That single line would become one of the most quoted captions across fan accounts and luxury pages alike, to be why the time the deal was announced, the entire marketing world had its eyes on her. Analysts began calling it one of the most significant celebrity brand collaborations of the decade. Not because of money, but because of impact. Ferrari didn't just gain a new ambassador, they gained access to a whole new generation that saw luxury not as a dream for the few, but as inspiration for the driven. Lisa redefined what the prancing horse could mean, not just speed, but ambition, beauty, and courage wrapped in confidence. Then came the twist. Days after the announcement, eagle-eyed fans discovered something curious. Lisa's personal Ferrari was not red, but pearl white. Instantly, speculation reignited. Was there a secret reason behind the color choice? Was it symbolic? Theories spread like wildfire. Some said it was purity meeting power. Others said it was rebellion against tradition. The truth was far simpler but more poetic. The color represented her clean slate, A fresh start, a reminder that even icons can begin again. The more people learned, the deeper they fell into the story. This wasn't about sponsorship anymore, it was about evolution. A global artist redefining herself through collaboration, a luxury brand reinventing its image through youth and diversity. Every photo, every clip, every caption became a breadcrumb leading fans to one realization: this was not just an ad, it was an awakening. And yet, even now, there are parts of a story untold. Those moments of hesitation before the cameras rolled, the laughter between takes, the private messages between Lisa's team and Ferrari's creative directors. Those are the fragments that make the myth, the unseen heartbeat behind perfection. Maybe the hidden truth isn't about what Ferrari gave Lisa, but what Lisa gave Ferrari. A new soul, a new voice, a pulse that reaches across continents. For the fans who have followed her since the beginning, this was more than just news. It was a moment of pride, of recognition. To see someone from humble beginnings become a global ambassador of elegance and ambition, it felt personal. It felt like victory shared by millions. And that's why the story of Lisa and Ferrari continues to ripple through every corner of the internet. It's not over, it's just begun. As you watch this unfold, remember, not every secret is meant to be uncovered. And not every mystery needs an answer. Sometimes, the beauty lies in what we can only imagine. What really happened before that announcement might never be fully known. But one thing is certain, the partnership between Lisa and Ferrari wasn't just a deal. It was destiny meeting design, a heartbeat aligning with horsepower. And maybe that's the most powerful truth of all. If you felt that connection too, if Lisa's journey inspired you, if the sight of her beside that Ferrari stirred something inside, don't just scroll away. Take a breath, hit subscribe, and stay with us as we uncover more stories of passion, art, and ambition. Because in this world of fame and speed, there's always another truth waiting beneath the surface, waiting for those who dare to look closer. But even as the world celebrated the partnership, something deeper began to shift within the luxury industry itself. Suddenly, every brand wanted a Lisa moment. The collaboration between Ferrari and the K-pop icon wasn't just successful, it became a blueprint. Marketing experts called it the new luxury language, where emotion mattered more than exclusivity and authenticity replaced perfection. Lisa had done something no one had managed before. She made Ferrari feel human. The brand of roaring engines and timeless class was now part of a heartbeat, hers. Behind the scenes, her creative team worked tirelessly to keep the energy pure. Every shot, every campaign concept went through her direct input. She was no longer a face for a brand, she was a creative partner shaping the message. Some say she personally approved the final edit of the first Ferrari short film, adjusting not her close-up, but the rhythm of the sound design. It was detail like that made her connection with the brand feel different, raw, alive, intentional, and fans noticed. Hashtags like #LisaXFerrari and #SpeedOfFreedom trended for weeks, with millions of fans remixing the campaign visuals into short reels, fan-made posters, and edits that reached beyond language barriers. TikTok clips of Lisa stepping out of the car hit tens of millions of views in hours. But beyond all that glitter, the story continued to evolve into something emotional, because when people looked at her, they didn't just see a superstar driving a car. They saw a woman steering her destiny. Months later, Ferrari invited Lisa to a private event at Maranello, the birthplace of the brand. Away from flashing lights, she reportedly toured the archives, seeing the sketches of the very first Ferrari built decades ago. One staff member later shared how silent she became while looking at the blueprint, her eyes following the thin pencil lines that once existed only in imagination. "It's strange," she said quietly, "how something that started as a dream can become real enough to touch." That single line captured everything the collaboration meant. The final campaign ended not with noise, but stillness. The closing scene, Lisa standing in front of the factory gates at sunset, the sky painted in gold and crimson. No dialogue, just the sound of wind and a heartbeat fading into the hum of an engine starting somewhere far away. It was poetic, like she was telling every dreamer watching that their own version of Ferrari was waiting, if only they dared to drive toward it. And that's what makes this story powerful. Beyond the brand names, beyond the numbers, it's about belief, about turning passion into motion. Lisa didn't just become the face of Ferrari. She became the embodiment of momentum, of what it means to keep going when the world expects you to slow down. Her Ferrari story is not a secret to decode, but a message to feel.